saying?
Sir, step away from that vehicle.
It's my car. I'm just loading groceries.
We got a call about someone breaking into cars. You matched the description.
I literally just walked out of the store. I can show you my receipt.
A receipt proves nothing.
Officer Ryan Holloway had been with the Atlanta Police Department for 11 years. In those 11 years, he'd accumulated 17 formal complaints. 14 of them involved black men in affluent neighborhoods, questioned at gas stations, detained at shopping centers, searched at restaurants. A black businessman filling up his Tesla was interrogated about the car's ownership. A black college student buying electronics was accused of using a stolen credit card. A black father shopping with his kids was followed through a mall for an hour. Every complaint ended the same way. Retraining, written warnings, no real consequences. One Saturday afternoon in Atlanta, his 11-year pattern finally confronted someone who spent his career saving lives and knew exactly what unlawful detention looked like. That confrontation would end Holloway's career, cost the city $4.5 million, and expose a department that had ignored 17 complaints over 11 years. Marcus Reynolds, a 38-year-old paramedic, was loading grocery bags into his Ford Explorer in the parking lot of a Buckhead Whole Foods after his weekly shopping trip. His paramedic uniform was visible in the back seat, his medical certification in his wallet, his receipt in a bag. No crime, no violation, just a paramedic loading groceries after a 24-hour shift. But Officer Holloway saw him through a lens so distorted by racial bias that he couldn't process a black man with a nice SUV as a legitimate shopper. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button. These stories need to be heard. Atlanta, Georgia. Buckhead, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the Southeast. The Whole Foods parking lot was busy with Saturday afternoon shoppers. It was 2:30 p.m., temperature 78 degrees, clear skies. Marcus Reynolds had been a paramedic for 12 years with Grady EMS, Atlanta's busiest emergency medical service. He'd responded to thousands of 911 calls, heart attacks, shootings, car accidents, overdoses. He'd saved countless lives. He'd received commendations for valor, been named Paramedic of the Year twice, trained new EMTs. He'd just finished a grueling 24-hour shift that morning and stopped at Whole Foods for groceries before heading home. Do you think officers should verify complaints before confronting shoppers? Drop your answer below. Officer Holloway had those 17 complaints over 11 years. 14 involved black men in wealthy areas. A pattern so clear it should have ended his career years ago. But Atlanta PD treated each complaint separately, never connecting the obvious dots. That afternoon, Holloway received a call about suspicious activity at the Buckhead Whole Foods. A black man loading numerous bags into an expensive vehicle. Holloway arrived within minutes. "Sir, step away from that vehicle." Marcus turned, exhausted from his shift, and saw a police officer approaching aggressively. "What? I'm loading my groceries. We received a report of suspicious activity in this parking lot. What are you doing?" Marcus felt frustration rising. "I just told you. I'm loading groceries I purchased inside. I'm a paramedic. I just got off a 24-hour shift. I'm trying to go home." "Do you have a receipt?" "It's in one of these bags. Why are you questioning me for loading groceries?" "Sir, I need you to comply. Show me your receipt and ID now." Marcus had dealt with police hundreds of times as a paramedic. At accident scenes, crime scenes, medical emergencies, he knew when an interaction was professional and when it wasn't. This wasn't. "Officer, I'm a paramedic with Grady EMS. I've been on shift for 24 hours. I bought groceries. I'm loading them into my registered vehicle. There's no crime here." The caller said you looked suspicious. Receipt and ID. Now. "Suspicious how? Shopping while black?" Holloway stepped closer. "Don't make this difficult. Show me your receipt or you're going to be detained." A man loading groceries nearby intervened. "Officer, I saw him check out inside. He paid for everything. He's not doing anything wrong." Holloway ignored him. "Sir, final warning. Receipt and ID, or you're under arrest." Marcus pulled out his phone. "I'm recording this. You're harassing me for loading groceries. My name is Marcus Reynolds. I'm a paramedic with Grady EMS for 12 years. This is racial profiling." "Put the phone down and put your hands behind your back." "On what charge?" "Theft and obstruction." "Theft of groceries I paid for? This is unlawful." Holloway grabbed Marcus's arm and forced it behind his back. Marcus didn't resist, but spoke clearly. "I am not resisting. This is an unlawful arrest. I'm a paramedic. I save lives for a living, and I'm being arrested for buying groceries. Should officers face termination for arresting people without cause? Let me know what you think. The witness was recording now. This is wrong. He didn't steal anything. Holloway handcuffed Marcus and walked him to the patrol car. Marcus's mind was racing. He'd treated gunshot victims, delivered babies, performed CPR in the streets. Now he was being arrested for shopping. They arrived at the station 15 minutes later. A sergeant met them at the booking desk. Holloway, what do you have? Theft suspect from Buckhead Whole Foods. Refused to show receipt. The sergeant looked at Marcus, still in handcuffs. What's your name, sir? Marcus Reynolds, paramedic with Grady EMS for 12 years. Badge number 847. I was loading groceries I legally purchased when Officer Holloway arrested me without probable cause. I have witnesses, video, and a receipt proving I paid $196 for everything in my vehicle. This arrest is unlawful. The sergeant's expression changed. You're a Grady paramedic? 12 years. Just finished a 24-hour shift. Stopped for groceries. Got arrested for it. The sergeant turned to Holloway. Did you verify any of this? Did you check the receipt? Talk to store management? He refused to. Show ID. That's not a crime. Did you have any evidence of actual theft? The caller said he looked suspicious. The sergeant called the Whole Foods manager, who confirmed Marcus had checked out 30 minutes earlier, paid $196 with his debit card, no issues. He also called Grady EMS, who confirmed Marcus Reynolds was one of their senior paramedics, just off shift. The sergeant hung up and stared at Holloway with disgust. You arrested a paramedic for loading groceries he paid for. A Grady paramedic who's probably saved lives you've put in danger. A captain arrived. James Morrison, a 25-year veteran who'd been trying to discipline Holloway for years. He reviewed everything, spoke to witnesses, confirmed the facts. He approached Marcus. Mr. Reynolds, this arrest was completely unlawful. You're being released immediately. On behalf of Atlanta PD, I apologize. He turned to Holloway. Badge and weapon. You're suspended pending termination. Holloway protested. Captain, I was responding to a call. You arrested a decorated paramedic for shopping. You've generated 17 complaints in 11 years. You're done. Badge, weapon, now. By evening, the story had spread. Grady EMS issued a statement supporting Marcus. The Atlanta Paramedic Association condemned the arrest. Local news covered it extensively. Video went viral. Marcus filed a lawsuit 3 months later against Officer Ryan Holloway, his supervisors, and Atlanta PD. The allegations included false arrest, false imprisonment, violation of Fourth Amendment rights, racial profiling, and deliberate indifference to Holloway's pattern. His complaint detailed Holloway's 17 complaints over 11 years, 14 involving black men in wealthy areas. Atlanta's city attorneys had no defense. Store records proved Marcus paid. Witnesses supported him. Video existed. Holloway had zero probable cause. The city settled 14 months later, $4.5 million paid to Marcus Reynolds. Officer Ryan Holloway was terminated 6 weeks after the incident. His termination letter stated, Officer Holloway arrested a paramedic for loading legally purchased groceries without any probable cause. His pattern of similar conduct over 11 years demonstrates an inability to serve without racial bias. Employment terminated. Holloway's name entered the National Decertification Index. His 11-year career ended. Marcus testified before Atlanta City Council. I'm a paramedic. I've saved lives for 12 years. I've worked shootings, stabbings, heart attacks. I've performed CPR on children. I've held dying people's hands. And I was arrested for buying groceries because Officer Holloway saw a black man with a nice car and assumed crime. He continued, 17 complaints in 11 years. 14 involving black men in wealthy neighborhoods. That's not policing. That's racial profiling. Your department ignored it until Officer Holloway arrested someone who happened to work for Grady EMS and had the community support to fight back. $4.5 million is what it costs when you ignore patterns. But money doesn't undo being handcuffed in a parking lot after a 24-hour shift saving lives. Atlanta PD implemented reforms. Mandatory verification before retail arrests. Automatic investigation at 3 complaints, body camera review for all shopping encounters, partnership with retail establishments. Why do departments wait for 17 complaints instead of 3? Comment your thoughts. This wasn't about one afternoon. This was about tolerating Ryan Holloway for 11 years despite 17 complaints. Marcus Reynolds paid the price, arrested for shopping while black after spending 24 hours saving lives. Holloway's career is over. The city paid $4.5 million. But that came after 11 years of ignored warnings. If you think 3 similar complaints should trigger automatic termination, comment below. And if these stories matter to you, hit that subscribe button. We're exposing departments that ignore patterns. This isn't about one officer or one paramedic. It's about systems that let bias continue and people who pay the price.